This short video is designed to help you reflect on and think about how you currently use your time. Where does your time currently go? There's lots of reasons why it's important to plan your time. Planning your time allows you to prioritise tasks. This means that it will help you to keep up with your commitments. And in turn, this helps you to set short, medium and long-term goals. Setting these goals gives your day-to-day, week-to-week and term-to-term clear focus. This approach also helps you to avoid distractions and procrastination. This is because you'll know what you need to do and when you need to do it by. Because of all these benefits, time management is a really important employability skill, and it's a skill that you'll hone throughout your time at university. Time is often described as being our most precious resource. We might often feel like we don't have enough of it, or that it seems to slip by without us fitting in everything that we'd like to do. Well, where does the time go? Let's have a look at a week and think about how your hours might break down. In 1 week, there are 7 days, each made up of 24 hours. So that means you have 168 hours in a week. So that's the total time you've got for things you need to do and things that you want to do. From that total, you need to subtract about 8 hours a day for sleeping. Some people need to sleep a little bit less, some people need to sleep a little bit more. But if you were sleeping 8 hours a day, that would leave you with 112 hours in your week. You should then subtract about another 3 hours a day for eating, so breakfast, lunch and dinner, for bathing, for getting ready and those sorts of things. So that leaves you with 91 hours in a week. Studying at university takes up the same amount of time as a full-time job. So you should subtract about 35 hours from your week for studying for university. That will leave you with 8 hours a day to fit in keeping fit, socialising, any household chores, any paid work, looking after children and other family commitments. So it's clear to see from here that the time can quickly run away from you if you don't think about how you can manage your time most effectively. We've now thought about where some of the time might go during the week. Let's have a look at some famous examples and see how these individuals use their time on a typical day. Let's start with the American poet, memorist and civil rights activist Maya Angelou. So you can see Maya Angelou's time for a day represented here in this time circle. At the top of the circle, the bold line shows midnight. So Maya Angelou slept from about 10 p.m. through to 5:30 a.m. So that's about 7.5 hours. She then worked for about 7 hours in a hotel or in a motel room. She'd then reread what she'd written throughout her working day, and then she'd return home to shower and cook and prepare dinner. She'd then read what she wrote that day to her husband, and she'd then get ready for bed and be in bed for 10 p.m, ready to prepare and start the next day. So that's how Maya Angelou organised her day. Let's look at another individual now, the novelist Charles Dickens. So you can see that Charles Dickens divided his time differently to Maya Angelou. He went to bed at about midnight and slept through until 7 a.m. He then got up and had his breakfast, a leisurely breakfast over 2 hours shown there. He then worked for 5 hours in his study in absolute quiet before going for a 3-hour vigorous walk in the countryside or in London. He then had something that he referred to as gap time before having dinner and meeting and socialising with friends and family before retiring to bed at midnight. So that is how Charles Dickens spent his time in the day. So those were just two examples of how famous authors used their time. And you can see that they both use their time in slightly different ways. How we use our time really does matter. It is really important to get a good night's sleep. Adults need a recommended 7 to 9 hours sleep a night. Not making time for sleep will impact on your ability to study during the day, and it will also impact your overall health, so do make sure you get a good night's sleep. Getting a good night's sleep will help you to get your day off to a good start. We'd recommend that you tackle the hardest, most dreaded task first in the morning before you do anything else. After that, your other tasks for the day will seem easy. It's important that you build in time to be away from work, time for hobbies, time for exercise, because these activities will give you energy, which will then allow you to get more done with your time in the day. Exercise, for example, helps to improve your memory, to boost your confidence in work and life, sleep better, and these factors in turn help to make you feel happier. So remember, it is really important how you use your time. In this video, we've thought about why time is one of our most precious resources. We thought about why time management skills are really important and why they matter so much. We had a look at how two famous authors spent their time on an ideal day. What we'd now like you to do is think about how do you currently use your time. You might like to think about a typical day, or you might like to think about an ideal day. And what we'd like you to do is use the time circle template provided within this intensive to create your own time circle. Be realistic and honest with how you allocate your time. Think about when you would sleep during the day. Think about any morning routines you have. When you have breakfast, if you need to commute to your place of work or study, the time that you spend studying or working, when you have lunch, and what you get up to in the afternoon and evening to complete your day. So spend some time now creating your own time circle to help you reflect on your time and to help you answer that question, well, where does my time go?